Welcome, everybody. So lovely to have so many of you on this tonight. So there isn't one next month because it's August and I'm in Sweden. Yay! But there will be one in September, back to normal again. So let's just settle ourselves. Take a nice deep breath in. And a sigh out. And again. And once more. And if you feel there's a bit of a yawn, so I've got a yawn coming, have a yawn as well. So yawns, sighing, crying, laughter, all of these things are what the ways that our body vehicle releases stress. So let's have another sigh. Lovely. And we'll just release the upper back a little bit. So take a twist to the right. Lovely. And then to the left. Back to center. Let's bring our hands to our shoulders. We're just going to do a little bit of movement to open the heart energy. Inhale left, exhale right. Eyes closed. And just build up the speed to suit you. So if you've got low blood pressure, then this probably doesn't suit you. So just keep it nice and slow. Bring yourself back to center. Bring the elbows together. Take a deep breath in. Again. Lovely. So I'm going to invite you to open your higher self around your body. So your higher self is here. So it's still within the energy field, the Dwadishanta, or the luminous energy body, as it's called in shamanism. And we're going to open it so it fully surrounds us. And we're going to do that in all directions. And then at the end of the practice, we're going to bring it back up and push it down through the body and give a little bit to Mother Earth. So bring your hands to the heart space. Just let the eyes close and really focus in on the breath. Keeping the eyes closed, bring the hands up into the higher self. It's called the Viracocha in shamanism. Turn the palms out and imagine that you're opening this beautiful golden energy and it's coming all the way around you to create this sphere that steps us out of time and we come into the sacred presence. Hands back to the heart space, bring them up again. As you exhale, turn slightly to one side and let the hands come forwards and back as if you're creating more of that circle around you. And then once more, all the way up. Opening that beautiful energy field all around you. So we're stepping out of time and we're coming into the sacred space. Bring both hands to the heart space. And just be aware of that presence of the heartbeat. We're just going to bring ourselves into this space of love. Feel that gentle beat of your own heart. Start to lengthen the exhale so it naturally allows you to drop into relaxation response. So you're telling your body that it's safe. I want you to take your right hand and place it to wherever you're sitting, as if you're touching the floor, and it's going down into Mother Earth, as if you can feel the heartbeat of the earth connecting with your heartbeat. And then we're going to take the right hand and we're going to bring it to the solar, not the solar plexus, sorry, the second chakra, the sacral chakra. And we're just going to balance it with the heart. So the sacral chakra is where we hold lots of fear and trauma, and it gets stuck in the body field, in the energetic field. And I want you to just mentally say to your lower chakra as you exhale, you are safe, you are held, you are loved. And just continue to breathe, lengthening the exhalation. Feel how the inhalation opens the heart space and the exhalation sends that security down into the lower chakra to release old patterns of behavior. Lovely. Let the hands come down to rest in the lap now. And we're going to continue with the extended exhale. Breathe in for 4. And breathe out for 6. And as you continue to just focus on that really simple count, I want you to mentally say to your body, it's safe to relax. So we're switching off the fight and flight response. And sometimes we think we're actually not in the fight and flight response. And in fact, many of us are in it a lot of the time, more time than we realize, because our body is unable to switch out of it because of these past experiences that keep us looped in the negative cycle, which is in the subconscious mind, so we're not aware of it. And that's when we get triggered. So we're just doing a little bit of clearing before we move into the Tonglen practice. So just keep reassuring the body that it's safe. You're in this place outside of time, and it's safe to let go of those patterns. Some of them may well be from this lifetime, childhood, experiences of work or relationships. And many of them are actually from previous lives. Just keep continuing the exhale. Let's increase it to 8 if that's comfortable for you. Just reassuring the body that it's safe to let go. I'm just going to give you this thought to consider as you're reassuring the body to let go. We're 70 to 75% water, and the water that exists in our body is constantly being recycled as we drink more water and then release it out. And water holds living memory. And the water that's on this planet is the water that's already always been here, constantly being recycled through the seas, the plants, the animals, various existences as human beings. And just considering that vibrational frequency and just letting go of those ancient patterns. Increase the exhale to 10 if it feels comfortable. And consider that we can start to bring in a new story for humanity. Not the old one that we've been programmed by, that is the one of greed, possessing natural resources, food, forest, minerals. And actually, we can dream a new story for the earth as we dream it all together. And this story can be one where we are the earth keepers, where we have stewardship over the planet, and we live in balance with all beings, rather than hoarding and consuming. Just keep allowing the body that safe space to let go of the patterns. Increase the exhale by another 2 if that feels comfortable for you. The inhale stays at 4. Lovely. And now just release the practice. Bring your full attention to the center of the chest. And imagine a tiny porthole there, like a little window into timelessness towards our true self. And you can imagine, if you like to, that your body is a lighthouse. And this tiny little window has this beam of light that we can shine outwards into the world. But it's also a point of light that we can draw our attention back towards in order to recognize our true nature. And when we recognize our true nature, which is one of timelessness and infinity, we release our fear of dying and various other things. And we experience life more fully. And we embrace life's challenges as lessons, as points of wisdom in our life that we can learn from. So start to breathe in and out at the chest. And we all tremble. We all know fear. But turn to the one life that pervades the universe, whose name dispels fear. And find that name resonating in your heart. So that one has many names in many cultures, but really it is nameless. It is just that one energy, essence, divine light that can't really be named, but we know deep down that it's part of who we are and what connects all of us together. Luminosity permeates the universe. And the secret sound that hums everything into existence resonates everywhere. Listen to the inner sound continually. Become lovers with the secret one. So be aware of that divine nature that we all have. It's not something that is separate, that's outside of us, that will judge us. It is, we're all divine, all of us. It's just a play of consciousness, the all that is. And feel that deep connection and start to imagine that particle within you that is part of the greater whole is like a diamond, indestructible. And it's with this focus on that particle of infinity that we transmute energies that are denser in order to raise vibrational frequency of ourself, of our loved ones, of the world, the communities that we live in. So start to give the breath some texture and imagine, it's just imagination, that the inhale we draw in suffering towards that light. And as we exhale, it's transmuted instantly into a beautiful white light that holds that divine energy of love, that transmutes the denser energies of fear, arrogance, envy, jealousy, all these emotions that are human emotions that cause suffering, a sense of lack, a sense of shame, guilt, just releasing all of that. So inhaling suffering, imagine it as a cloud, it's just coming towards you. And as soon as it moves to the heart space, that particle of infinity, it's like fuel. So it cannot touch that light. It just amplifies it. We add it to the fire and we send it out. So fire is a really powerful force in the universe as an element. It burns and it transmutes and transforms into the new things. So we're going to work on ourselves first. So as you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in your own suffering in all its forms, all its stories, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. The stories that are, I wish I could have, I shouldn't have done that, I wish they were different. All of those stories that create suffering. And within those stories, there are also the people that belong to those stories. And within those stories, we offer forgiveness. Draw that suffering into the heart space. And as you exhale, transform it with your imagination, your creativity into light. So what we are creative beings. And that's what gives us the power to transform our lives. Notice the inner dialogue, the story that keeps you trapped in the present and that keeps you looping. Sometimes it keeps us looping in the same type of relationships because we don't change our own story. So we always attract the same type of person. They might just look slightly different, but it's the same energy. So we have to transmute our own energy. And that is, within relationships, within friendships, relationships within the people we work with, etc. So just being aware. Also, our relationship to food. We're in relationship to everything else, and we can transmute those relationships into things that are really positive. So be aware of all of those things within your own energy field and let them transmute. As you exhale, imagine a better diet, maybe a better form of exercise or more meditation. See that future self and let it transform the present. Because we're working outside of time when we're in this protective bubble, and we can bring that future timeline into the present. Just continue to work. Notice the stories that might be arising out of the subconscious mind. Be aware of your future self and bring it forwards to the now. Pull it back into you now. Maybe be aware of yourself walking more often in nature, taking time to sit with your back against a tree. It doesn't have to be massive changes, just a sense of slowing down a bit more, changing the speed of life. making choices about what we consume, not just what we eat and what we drink, but what we consume when we read or watch television or doom scroll on social media, and just making choices that are more enlightened choices. It's not to say that media is bad, because it isn't, but we can make the choice as to what we choose to consume. And there is a big demand for healthier consumption. Just a few more breaths. If you feel that you can feel a sense of energy lifting out of the body, then just tap very gently where you're feeling that, just to encourage it to leave, and then maybe just waft. So remember, this energy is leaving the dense field of the physical body out of the energetic field. Brush it away. Off you go. Go and be recycled. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lovely. Now let's turn our attention to a loved one. So a loved one, somebody who we find it actually really easy to be with, somebody who we're comfortable with them. And just take your time. It could be a friend, a loved one can be anybody. It could be an animal, somebody who is a loved one who is suffering. And bring them into your awareness. Take your time. If you're used to this process and practice, then you might find you can work with more than one person at once, and you can hold that mental focus. Bring them into the heart. Notice what they look like, perhaps what they're wearing, where they're sitting. And we're just going to go towards them. Sit with them, maybe hold their hand. And notice how their suffering shows on their physical body. Notice how it manifests. How does it show on their facial expression? Maybe their mouth is downturned most of the time. Maybe there is a deep sadness behind their eyes. Just really observe, because all the signs are there. You just need to slow down and observe. Notice their suffering in all its forms: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. And when you're ready, start to imagine, visualize that suffering just sort of pouring out of them and creating a cloud between you and them. And when you're ready, you're going to take that suffering towards the heart and use it as fuel to expand the heart space. Breathe it in. Feel the heart opening. And as you exhale, sending out the light of love, compassion, the wish for them to be well, to be free from suffering, to be able to find a path that suits them. Everyone's path is different. And keep the mind focused on that inhale and exhale, transmuting the energy. Notice the expansion of your own heart space as you just take on this fuel to expand the light. And we start to recognize that we're all alike. We're all searching for contentment, happiness, safety. And that we've all just got a little bit confused in the modern world because we think it's out there, and we think it's because it's more stuff that we consume, or a successful career, or all these things that we're told that we need to have. And actually, most of it we don't need at all. And that our purpose here is to move together in community. And whether that's in person or online, it's about we. It's not about me. So feel that sense of connection to the loved one. And really feel that sense of the energy moving in your field. So you're in this big ball, which is your field outside of time, and we're transmuting. And you can feel this sense of energy flowing through you, expanding. And as we expand, we're not just sending that energy out to that other person because we're all connected. It's also expanding our own energy field. Lovely. Let's just work for a few more breaths with the loved one. Lovely. Now, just take a moment to look at them. Notice that they are a little bit more at ease. And then we're going to move to somebody who we find it really difficult to be with. This, I find, is the most transformative aspect of this practice. So sometimes this is a loved one. Maybe we're going through a challenging time with a loved one or a friend, maybe a colleague. Maybe we're being challenged by what we see on the television if you actually watch it. And you're drawn to work with maybe one of the world leaders, whoever comes to mind. So take your time and then feel into the heart space. So you find the right person to work with right now. And that might switch to and back and fro from one person to another, and just let it settle. Until you find that difficult person that you wish to work with and for. So remember, you're still in your beautiful, luminous energy field, your Dwadishanta. The heart space is indestructible, it's infinite. And we're working on expanding it so that we can create positive change, not just for ourselves, but for everybody. Because there's no point just changing it for us. It has to be for everybody. So feel that connection and notice what you see about their behavior that you find challenging, and recognize it as suffering, ignorance, delusion. So if we move towards maybe world leaders, we could see some of this as the misuse of power, which has happened since time immemorial. Naturally, if we want a place where we can all live in peace, that needs to change. And we need to use individual power for the benefit of everybody. So be aware of that. And when you're ready, let whoever you're working with, let that suffering pour out of them, physical, emotional, mental. See it as a cloud. And when you're ready, bring it in. Feel your own sense of self expand with this beautiful light as it gets transmuted, and send that light towards them with the genuine wish for them to be able to follow a path that frees them from their own suffering and ignorance, misuse of power. Notice shifts of energy in the body. So just feel the energy of the light. Don't try to understand it from a linear point of view. Just feel into it. Let it move with the breath. Inumoaha yenisiana notus tuquate anaha ibrema nushkuro moaha inianaha briana nosionumoa sinumuro moa siete katakabare manisiana nanosutukuboate anaha. Be aware of the heart space expanding right into this energy field. This luminous body expanding, expanding, expanding. A few more breaths. Lovely. Now just take a moment to look at this person that you've been working for and notice maybe a subtle change in relationship. And that might be that you're able to take a deep breath in with them next time and say, you okay? So we step back from it rather than being triggered by them. Or maybe we make a choice to walk away, and that's fine too. Just noticing subtle changes. Inomahaya, inomahea nanasieha, inonosoto tokwa, hebrebadesiono urumuate naha. Lovely. Now let's move to a familiar stranger. So this is a really lovely one to do because you can do it when you're out shopping and you can just do a little bit of instant tonglen. So, or if you're on a commute and you can see somebody suffering just by their behavior, you can send them a bit of love. So somebody who you recognize their face, maybe it's somebody who serves you in the local shop, or somebody who walks past your house, somebody who's at the bus stop. Just somebody who's familiar, but you don't really know them. You might know the name, but might not. You might know the dog's name, which is usually the case if you're a dog walker. Bring them to mind. Take your time. And see how their body vehicle displays the suffering. And once you start to really observe, you notice it a lot. And it's not that we're judging. We're not at all. We're moving from a place of compassion. So we see these behaviors that sometimes are quite extreme. You know, perhaps somebody who's homeless and an alcoholic, and we create judgment around that story. And actually, we don't know their story, and we don't know how they've got trapped in that story. Or people who are in prison. I've worked with people like that before, and their stories are hard to take, and they have to be freed from the story. And judgment isn't helpful. And when you're ready, start to see their suffering as a cloud of smoke. Inhaling, draw it towards you. Use it to fuel the fire of transformation, and exhale it back out with that genuine, heartfelt wish for them to find a path for them to move out of this denser energy field that they're currently finding themselves in, to move towards a state of peace, calm, equanimity, balance, a life that is conscious rather than a life that is controlled by the subconscious, a conscious life. Inumuasiete abotusuata irimatusta kabatayanaha isumua iana aba ita kakabaramano sonumua hianaha. Just use the breath. Feel the energy shifting. Just a few more breaths. Lovely. Now we're going to move outwards, keeping your awareness of your luminous energy field that you're in. We're out of time. Remember, we're in this sacred time that is timeless, limitless. And be aware of each other's presence as if we're sitting in this massive circle. And our auras have become so huge thanks to the fuel that we're now interconnected completely. So bring the hands up and out slightly as if we're connecting to each other's. And I want you to push your attention out to your neighbours. Maybe they're upstairs and downstairs on either side. If you're in a flat or an apartment, maybe you're lucky enough to live in the middle of nowhere. So push it out, right out to the nearest village or hamlet. Maybe you're in a big city, wherever you are. Push your awareness out and start to encompass the community, the county or region, the country that you live in. Start to encompass the whole world. Wrap your awareness around the entire planet until you can imagine that we're actually all sitting outside of the planet and we're all sitting in this beautiful circle and we're holding the planet and ourselves in this beautiful ball of light. which we all are. And we're all part of this light. And within it, we hold Mother Earth. Mother Earth is sentient. At some point in the very, very, very distant past, eons and eons and eons ago, some soul decided to take on the job to be planet Earth. Be aware of the waters of Mother Earth, the air, the plants, the stones, the minerals, all the animals, the winged, the finned, the furred, those with many legs, those with 4 or 2. Just really bringing everything into your attention because it's all part of us. All human beings, holding them in this beautiful field of light. And then when you inhale, draw in the suffering of the planet. And notice that the heart and the luminous energy field is so expanded now that we can make that dream. So we are the dreamer. We don't have to be the dreamt. So we don't have to give over our power to other people's dreams. Dream the world into being a place that is free of suffering, where everyone lives in equanimity. Nobody has ownership over water or air or land or food, and that we live some way in harmony. We find a way, a collective way to live in peace. It is possible. And feel that future and bring it into the present. A future where we are all earth keepers. We live in harmony with each other, with the planet, with the other animals, insects. A world that is free from toxins, air that we can breathe, water that we can drink. Land that we can grow beautiful food on. Just dream it into being. Just a few more breaths. And feel that sense of overwhelming love. Because that future dream is that. That's what it is. And we all already have it in abundance. When we release the old stories, there's a lot more space to make that future possible. Lovely. Now bring the hands back to that heart space. Bring the right hand down to touch Mother Earth again. Feel the beat of Mother Earth. Feel it reflected in your own heart. Bring the right hand to the second chakra. Reassure your body that it is safe, that it is held. Ino nostuaya naha. Ino no moa a. Ino mono wa sie te no. Hosto como wa te naha. Ishkana yana mana na sie no nostoa. Hebromo shkoya yana hasiete te kakabara mana sie no. Hosto como wa te. Just breathe in the light. Be aware of that beautiful, luminous energy field that is your true self. Divine. Utterly gorgeous. And we're going to gather it back in. Okay. So bring the hands back to the side. And as you breathe in, pull up that beautiful golden energy field. And imagine that you're sort of bringing it back into this eighth chakra. Give it a little bit of a crumple. So you're putting it back into a ball. And then the other way, slightly to the side. And then the other way, slightly to the side. Good. Now imagine this beautiful, beautiful energy full of wisdom, and it holds all the wisdom from all your previous lives, and it just uploads all that information. We're going to just gently pour it into our body. All the way down, share a little bit with Mother Earth, out through your feet. And you can do this mentally. You don't have to touch your feet if you don't want to. Bring the hands to the heart space. Pull up a blue ball of energy from Mother Earth, the waters, to protect you. A golden ball of liquid metal from Father Sky. Bring it over the blue. And then with one hand, imagine you're sprinkling beautiful mirrors all the way around you. So you're creating this amazing disco ball around yourself. And then the other arm, sprinkle it around. So now you're sat in this, it's like a shield, energetic armor. And what the mirrors do, the mirrors allow you to process your stuff, not everybody else's. So if you are empathic and very sensitive, you end up processing other people's stuff thinking it's yours and it's not. So the mirrors really help you to step back and go, okay, that's not my drama, that's somebody else's. Bring the hands to the heart space. Inhale. You wave your lovely ball of protection, the disco ball, and as you exhale, down to the heart space. And thank you for joining me.